Today, on You're Buying a Home with Silas Lindenstein, we're asking the question, is this a market dip I see before me? Hello, everybody, and welcome to You're Buying a Home with Silas Lindenstein. I am your host, Silas Lindenstein. Today's episode is titled, Is this a market dip I see before me? And we're asking that question. We're talking about it. We're talking about, is the market dipping? And then, therefore, if it is, what is our strategy right now? But before we get into that, I need to introduce myself to those of you just tuning in. My name is Silas Lindenstein. I'm a real estate agent in the Seattle, Washington area with Boutique Brokerage. And I also host this wonderful podcast that thousands and thousands of you have deemed worthy to be one of the top rated home buying podcasts on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the reviews. The reviews mean so much. Like, you know, if you already have an agent out there, if you've, or whatever it is, let me tell you, if you are getting something out of this show, whether it's knowledge, it's giving you the education you need, to go forward in home buying, or if you're just learning a different perspective about the home buying process, please, if you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review and a comment, like tell me about what it's done for you, that helps this program and me out immensely. And so those of you tuning in, yes, I just said I was from Seattle, but it's okay. Even if you're not from Seattle, this podcast is still for you. This podcast is all about educating and empowering home buyers all over the nation. I do it from the reference of Seattle, but buying a house is buying a house. The process is nearly identical all around the country. Little changes here and there. Your local real estate professional will be able to help you out with those little bit of differences. Speaking of which, of course, if you're in the Seattle, Washington area, I would love to help you out. I still have openings. I'm still taking clients. But if you are not, in the Seattle, Washington area, I can still help you out. I can connect you with real estate agents all over the country. I've built a great network of people I trust who will deliver in getting you a home. And they've proven it. They've connected my listeners to homes, even in obscure places. So if you need an agent, please reach out to me. If you're just going to end up using your recommendation from your brother or whatever, because you've lived in that town forever, go ahead and use them. But if you are legitimately actually looking for an agent, I'll help you out. It takes some time to connect you, because sometimes if you don't have an area, if I don't have somebody I already know in the area, I seek them out and I interview them and I make sure that they are a good fit. So, yeah. So that's what you can do. And also, if you just want the step-by-step guide on buying a home, go back to the first 10 episodes. Those spell it out. And so those are easy and clean. And then the subsequent ones are going to cover different areas of the home buying process and different strategies. And of course, if you want the ebook version of those first 10 steps, go ahead and email me at silas@silasgetsreal.com, and I'll send you that PDF back out to you. It's a little ebook. It's not that big, but it's good reference. If that's the way you learn. Some people learn different ways. I'm very visual. Though, I listen to podcasts too a lot, but the visualizations help me a lot. So I think I would really go for the ebook. So if you want one, go ahead and just email me again, silas@silasgetsreal.com. And of course, you can also do that for anything else you need, whether it's questions or connecting with an agent, whatever it is. So right before we get on to the episode topic, I do have another question of the week. I should have music there. I'll add. We'll add in music soon. So, question of the week. I got this question from Emily out in Colorado. She was asking me, Silas, how many agents should I be working with at one time? And I was like, hold the phone. What? How many? Well, one. Feel free to interview many, but I mean, unless they're in drastically different locations. Like I'm in Seattle and I cover from Tacoma up to Marysville. So those are a ways. I cover about 45 minutes out from where I actually live. Sometimes an hour if I'm a listener, especially for listeners. Love helping listeners, but mostly about 45 minutes to an hour I go. If you should ask your agent that you're working with, how far do they work? Or where will they go? Because some will draw a line, some will drive further. If you're in a rural area, sometimes they can't make a living unless they're driving 2 hours. That's just how it is. It's a rural population. They have to make money somehow. So ask your agent there. But here's the thing. You don't want to be, agents work off of commission. Most agents work off of commission, right? That's all they get. They're not getting a salary from you. So you should be serious about working with that agent when you're working with them. And I understand if you end up not liking an agent, just drop them and go to somebody else. I'm not saying don't work with someone you don't like, but I've had to clarify a couple times when I was shopping people, as they're like, because I realized they're using an agent in Seattle and one in Shoreline, which is right next to it. I was like, hold the phone. You only need one agent there, so you kind of need to make a choice. They did choose me, so hey. But regardless, it's just not fair to that other agent who's putting that time in, and it's really not fair to you either. You shouldn't be juggling between them. It gets complicated. So no, so the answer to Emily, and I sent it back to her, just pick an agent, and quickly. I think, if you already started working with them, if you're going to need to cut ties with some, you got to do it right away. Pull that Band-Aid. We don't want, or re-interview them. Something like that. Okay. So clarified. Yes. Moving to different cities, understand, talk to different agents if you're not sure where you're going yet. But if you're in that city, just find one to work with and get to know and build a relationship with them. That's what I'm all about. Okay, now the topic. This is exciting. Is this a market dip I see before me? Okay. Here's the thing. I've been saying for the last 2 months, things are looking a little different. And they were just little blips here and there. It was around, Mother's Day? Oh, was that a slowdown? Was it because of Mother's Day? And I'm hearing this across the nation, not just here, but certainly come 4th of July, we've definitely had a drastic reduction in business. It's not a crash. Let's be clear on that. Homes are still selling. Homes are getting multiple offers, but you've seen not all homes are going out in one weekend. This in Seattle was the first time in probably 7 months. This was, not the first time. This is the most home price reductions I've seen in 1 week in about 7 months. So a number of homes just were lower in price. Like, whoa, okay. So typically in a normal market after 4th of July and after, things should slow down a little bit, right? People kind of at that point decided, you know what, we can't move. I want to know where my kids are going to go to school. So I'm not going to move now, right? Because it's too close. When we would close in August. Oh, this is too much for me. So they stop. They don't put their house on the market, or they just stop looking to change where they are, and they just decide, well, guess we're going to be here for the year. So there's usually that's what happens, and also events are going on. And I will say why it is happening now. I've been, in the 5-6 years I've been doing real estate officially, I've always been in the seller's market in Seattle. And I would say on the majority of those, it's still been kind of busy in the summers. This is going back to a traditional level of what happens after 4th of July. There's a slowdown. So it's not like this should have been predictable. But, last year everyone was sitting at home. Everyone's sitting at home thinking about, they can't go to any concerts. They can't go on vacation because of COVID. So they're like, well, let's go buy a house. We need a bigger space. We're all too close to each other. We need more bedrooms. We need a larger floor plan so I don't have to see my children every day at all hours. So they were fixated on buying a home, and that's all they were doing. Now, suddenly, with a good percentage of the population getting vaccinated, please get your vaccinations, you have people going on vacations now, people taking trips, people going to see loved ones they haven't seen, some over a year, some 18 months, right? It's been a while since people have been able to see their loved ones. They're going out and they're doing things. So the house buying has become less important, or something that they're going to put on hold for a little bit. And if you're my listener, you've been waiting for this, right? You've been waiting for that dip because I told you it was going to happen. I said that. I think it was episode 36. If you go back and listen, I said there's going to be a dip, but we don't know when. Right now is the dip. Last time this happened was around October 2018 here in Seattle. We saw it, started like, wait, things are sitting on the market a little bit. Holy moly, what is this? Like, hey, there's been stuff on the market for a month. What? That's crazy. So this is a potential time for you to go and get a deal. Or at least a deal at list price, right? So what we're seeing is homes that are fully remodeled and simple, like a 3-bedroom, 1-2-bath Rambler, remodeled again, I'll emphasize, those are going quick. Those are getting multiple offers still. But here's the thing. They're not getting 25 offers. They're getting 4 to 5 offers, right? So competition is less. There are less people waiving inspections. That means there's less appraisal gaps happening. I had clients we put in for a house, and the only thing off, we were just a little bit of the price. They still wanted an inspection. I was impressed. I did a special way of the inspection request to help move it along, but that wasn't the issue. It was just strictly this price. The other people outbid us a bit more. But that's the thing. The thing is, only 4 other people were trying to buy this house. So I'm like, okay, now there's only 3 others that we got to compete with. This is awesome. So those homes are going quick. The opportunities you're going to have when the market dips is the home with one ugly room, the home with a little bit of a weird layout. Is it something you can deal with? Now, if it's on the market one weekend, the whole putting all these waiving contingencies, that's gone in my book. I don't do that then. We don't waive inspection. We don't waive appraisal. We go in, maybe still full list price, depending if it's worth it. That's where you get to actually look okay, was this house worth it? Because obviously someone didn't buy it at that price. So if you can get in there quickly, you might be able to get it right at list price. I'm showing someone a house tonight, actually, after this recording. The story with it was it got bought up first weekend a little bit ago, went through an inspection period. People got cold feet, really. That's all that really happened. Talked to the agent. Yeah, they used one of the excuse they used was lame because the sellers offered to fix it, but they just said no. So they just got cold feet. Maybe because they saw the market was shifting, didn't think they need to. So we know. So we're going out on a Wednesday night to grab the house, to look at it. And if we like it, submit an offer right there on the spot, walking out of the house, sending in the signatures, and then we're shooting it off. Okay. Cause I'm not messing around. We don't want this to get to the second weekend, and you don't either. If you see a house not go that first weekend, and usually it'll change from review date, the day of the review, the house was going to be reviewed for all the offers, suddenly to sellers will look at offers upon receipt. So that's a change, right? So if you need to go on a Wednesday, you go. You don't let that get to another weekend. That's when most people are shopping, right? You want to beat them out there. So get out there on Wednesday. Try to lock it up under contract before the weekend. Now, if you try to offer below list, because look, the seller's already disappointed, right? They've been reading articles. They've been thinking that their home is going to get 26 offers and it's going to go way higher, and they're going to get offered trips to Paris or timeshares or whatever for kidneys, firstborn. That's what they're expecting because that's what they've been reading about and hearing about. So they are already disappointed. Okay. Know that already. So list price is going to disappoint them. So you don't want to press it too hard right now. Okay. You want to go in at list price with your contingencies and try to lock it up. Hopefully you beat other people. You could get other people in there. Now, if you get to that second Saturday, you have a chance that other people are going to come in with offers. You don't know yet. Or if you see a price reduction, you can get other offers in. So it's all about timing. Real estate's all about timing, right? So you want to go in with that attitude. Just understand when you make an offer, don't go in. It's one weekend out. You can't expect them to go like, I want 50,000 off this. No, don't expect that to happen or them to say yes. Because what I would probably do if I thought the house was priced fairly, I would tell my clients, well, let's just wait. Let's wait the weekend. This person's not going to go anywhere. Let's see if they're serious about the house, they're not going to go anywhere. So let's see. Let's take our chances this weekend. See what's going on for that second weekend. Okay. So yeah, so that's what you want to do. Okay. Be aggressive, but you do have the balls in your court a little bit. Once it hits 2 weeks, you're going to see some panic ensue on these people's parts. They're going to drop the price. They should. Hopefully a significant amount. If they don't, that's because of the seller. Okay. If it only drops $5,000, let's say it's a $500,000 home and it only drops $5,000, that's the seller. The agents tell them to drop more because you want a significant price drop to get noticed, to stay out there, stay relevant. So, you see a price drop, especially if it's a good one. Again, in my experience, sellers will say like, oh, let's wait for the weekend. If you're trying to offer below that, no. They will just be 2 weeks. They're going to start getting nervous, which they shouldn't be. In a normal market, it should take like 2 to 3 months to sell a house. That's just how it happens. It's just slower, but we've gotten spoiled, or sellers have gotten spoiled to think that the house should go on a weekend or two. And that's not the normal process. You got to find the buyer for the house. And also, I try to tell people that, these fully remodeled homes, you're buying a top value. It's like top value. I would love to see you. And if you've been listening to this podcast, this is my advice. Find an ugly home, find an ugly room. The only reason I got my house and I got a deal on it in that 2018 dip, it's because it had one ugly room that people were confused on what to do with. And a confusing, I don't know. I've got like a screen door for a bathroom door. Like those folding Japanese screens. Like you see, but as a door. That's what I have in one of my doors. So it's a little out of the ordinary, but it happens. Because of those things, I was able to get this house below what they were asking because I knew sellers are in panic mode a little bit. Right. So, but I was also okay losing the house. That's another thing. Anytime you offer below list price, be okay losing the house. Decide, well, I think it's worth this much, or I can afford this much, so I'm willing to, I'll offer that. But just know that if you're not offering lists, they don't have a good chance of them not taking it, right? So, and I was okay walking away because I know other houses show up. But look for that ugly room. That ugly room can really save you a lot of money. Can save you a lot of money, and people are not attracted to it. Let's see, other deals I've gotten for people have been things like, let's say there's an odor. Someone had dogs or cats, right? Look, that's going to dissipate. Okay, there are worst case scenarios that you have to pull the flooring out, but I don't think you have to do that. A lot of times you have to scrub. You can put an ozone machine in. Not the best for the environment, but they use them in cars to clean out cigarette smell, right? You can put them in houses. You can read different techniques about it, about scrubbing to get the cells that are smelly will come out to the top if you scrub. Weird stuff. But look for opportunities for deals in that way. Slight odor, but not like mold. You're going to have an inspection, right? Slight odor or weird, ugly room, weird layout, those kind of things. You're going to be ready for deals. And you've been waiting for this dip. Silas told you it was coming, so it's here. So jump on it. How long is this going to last? I mean, I wish I could tell you exactly, but reasonably, what usually happens in normal markets, there's a dip after 4th of July. It goes to about mid-September. So everybody's now in school and things are going fine. And then it goes back up. Okay. Goes back up. And then somewhere in end of October, first week of November, it's going to drop. Because people want to know where they're going to be for the holidays again, right? So it'll go up again and it'll go down again. That's just how it is. How it normally is. And are we I don't know if we're in a post-COVID world yet. I mean, we're not. It's still a pandemic going across the nation. So, and we got the new variant going out. Things are locking back up in some places. So I don't know. Nobody can tell you if we're a post-COVID era yet. I don't think we are, despite the restrictions being lifted. I suspect more will come back. Either way, if I had that, and if your agent can't tell you that. If they're telling you they know what it's going to do, they don't. They wouldn't be an agent. They'd be an investor. That's all they would do if they could predict the market that well. So this is my best guess and telling you about what happened in practice. To watch for it, to be a less volatile thing until about mid-September. Then expect more competition back if this goes back to how it used to be. So that's my advice. I just wanted to share that with you and get you out of there because it's the number one question people are asking me. Is this right now? Is there a dip going on? Are things starting to slow down? Answer is yes. But will it get you a good deal? Not if you're too picky. If you're really picky, still not. Still competitive. Still put your best foot forward, okay? Follow the tips I've given you in this podcast and you'll get the house. And just remember, the house is worth what you're willing to pay for it or what someone else is willing to pay for it if they want to pay more. That's what the house is worth. It's worth your monthly payment. Interest rates are still low, so it's still a great time to buy. That's my thoughts on that. So, folks, that's the program. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you again for everybody going out to Apple Podcasts and get a 5-star review. If you haven't, please do that today. And again, if you need an agent or you want that ebook, please email me at silas@silasgetsreal.com and I'll help you out on both fronts. And I hope you see the dip in your area. I hope it's happening for you and you can go out and grab something. My name is Silas Lindenstein with Boutique Brokerage. Happy home shopping.